Hey guys, Alex here. I got a lot more requests for this than I had originally intended. I thought two was a very reasonable number for my sub count, two comments that is, and I got like seven, which was really just amazing to me. Um, so this is a 20-minute gameplay over the game Alan Wake. Really good game, but I'm gonna jump right into it because this is gonna take all the time I have. Um, so my start, I got a GameCube when I was 5. If you guys have followed me on my past channel, you know the GameCube story. But I got my GameCube when I was 5 for Christmas. Started playing some games. Had that for about 6 years, 5 or 6 years, yeah. And I actually have one to this day. Rebought it from my friend. But back when GameCubes were really like good and kind of expensive when they were still putting out new games, I sold it to my friend for 110 with GameCube, like 2 controllers and like I can't even count, at least 30 games. So I did that, and then when I turned 11, for my 11th grade promotion going into 7th or 11th grade, when I my 6th grade promotion into 7th grade when I was turning 12 in the summer, I got my Xbox, and I was just playing with some friends, just private match, pubs, reg gun, try hard, all that. So I used to drop like chopper gunners every game. I don't know how. I don't like honestly to this day don't know how I did it. I just did. I was like one of the biggest tryhards you've ever seen, using glitches, head glitching, camping, all that. And then I met him way before. I had bought the game. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. I had bought that game for some because I couldn't play M games originally when I started. My mom wouldn't let me because she's like super protective and all that shit. Like, oh, it's gonna rot your brain. Um, but I could only have T games, and Ghost Recon was like one of the only T games that looked actually fun. So I bought that. I played it, and I met my first talking Xbox Live friend. Because my first Xbox Live friend, he didn't have a mic. So Justin, my friend Justin, or Devil May Cry XX, I still have him added because he's really fun to play with. But we don't really talk anymore. We just he has some friends that I don't like. They don't like me, so he's usually in parties with them. Yada yada yada. Don't go. Blah blah blah. But yeah, so I was playing Ghost Recon a lot with him, and then from that point, when MW2 came out, that was actually my first. Wait, no, it wasn't. Call of Duty 2 was my first Call of Duty, which was really fun, but like no one played it at all. So, and then I got COD 4 eventually, but the first M game I had ever bought was Halo 1, and I still have it, and it was really just fun, a fun game. And then I bought all the Halos, got into Halo, and then Call of Duty came along eventually, everyone knows Call of Duty. So, I was playing that, and then MW2 came out. I didn't get it for about 3 months, something like that, 2-3 months after the game released, and I just started, tryharding chopper gunners, like I said before. And my friend Justin, the same guy who I met on Ghost Recon, we had heaps of fun together back in the day, and he taught me how to quickscope. I was like, "What are you guys doing with those sniper rifles?" Like that's how most people learn. Um, I was like, "What are you guys doing? That looks retarded." So he taught me. He was like, "Oh, that's quick scoping," and I was like, "What?" And then he taught me, and I was like, "Hard scoping," and he was like, "You're scoping in too long," and I was like, "Oh," and then I started like black scoping on my screen, and he said that's not right either. And then I eventually got the hang of it, and I got really good at quick scoping, like just PubStar, 16 and like 3 S&D marathon, quick scoping, whole game, like that kind of stuff. And then I got into the competitive scene. I saw someone, his name is Troy. I don't talk to him anymore. He's never on. He sent out a message saying, hosting clan tryouts. Anyone who wants in, message me. I was like, what's this? Well, I knew what clans were. My friend Justin was in a clan, and I wanted to join one, and I tried out, and it was for competitive, and I didn't know that. And they taught me what competitive was, and I can really, honest to God, thank him for pretty much all of this, just Troy. Actually, wait, I skipped over a part. I completely skipped over a part. Sorry, guys, back it up. When I started quick scoping, I really wanted to get into a lobby. I was first Prestige 70 legit. I didn't want to do anything else because it was really just retarded, boring leveling up. And then I got to like 34 something on second, and I got into a lobby to 70, and then I Prestige thinking I was going to get invited back. But I mean, when 7 Sins was like huge, you didn't really expect an invite back, but I was, and I didn't get one. So then I was on third 0 or third 1, sorry, and I just got to like third, let's say rank, I don't know anymore, like 5th, and I got a lobby to 70, and I was just playing on that. I was like, there's no point in prestiging or doing any of this blah 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 garbage, and so I was just going around, and I saw that someone was hosting a challenge lobby. Like, this was about a year and a half ago when you still could. So I joined off of the 7 Sins username, and then we got, no, I didn't actually get in that lobby. I did not make it in. Spots were too full, they ended and all that. But I saw the guy's gamer tag. It was like, I think it was Gravity X Teddy Bear. I don't remember, but I looked on his friends list, and there were a lot of guys in Gravity. It was Gravity X and then your name, and there were a bunch of Randy Caps in Gravity, you know, the usual. So I looked, and there were like at least 25 members, and so I asked if I could join, and they said, yeah, you have to 1v1, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at 1v1s, and I lost, but I lost by like 4. So then I asked, so am I in? And he was like, yeah, you did pretty good, you're in. So I made it into my first ever clan team, whatever you want to call it, and I was really, really happy. And my old gamer tag was Gravity X Razor from Gravity. And then I eventually just, played with them. That was my first actual taste of YouTube. I was doing YouTube, I knew what it was. I posted some videos with my digital camera pointing at the TV, blah, 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 the usual. So all that happened, and then I got into Gravity, and Gravity was like the biggest thing I'd ever heard of. It was crazy. They had a YouTube. The leader was the only one who recorded. He recorded with a Dazzle, and then they put out, like, when Black Ops came out, we put out a team Taj, I guess you could say, of just, us quick scoping, triple feeds, no scope, stuff like that. And then that was pretty much like my first taste of YouTube. I got on there, and then, like I said, Troy messaged clan tryouts, and then from there I got into the competitive scene, which I genuinely can say I did not like my time on competitive. Troy was good. I met some good friends. My friend Zach, I'm still friends with him to this day, and my friend Roman, I'm really good friends with Roman still, and that was like, the friendships I made in comp were good, but like the actual matches were good, but like the people you played against were just dicks. Like, if you think the people in trickshotting community like talk shit, you haven't seen it until you've played comp. Like, to be honest, comp was good when I did it, and now it's just kind of shit. But yeah, like, people just, they like cussed you out for no reason just because you're clan matching them. Like, that's just it. That's the reason. But I did a lot of comp, a lot of comp, and from comp I ended up trying to get into YouTube again, and I got my Dazzle, and then I recorded a lot of comp and was like the bitch for most teams. And then this guy Ben, or I don't remember what his name was, Fear, I think, Fear SG or Sear Gaming or whatever. I got into there, and then we hopped around on comp for a while. Ben was like the worst leader of a team I've ever seen. And then from there, I went on to to go when trick shotting blew up. Like I was doing comp and then I just kind of quit. I just didn't like it anymore. Wasn't doing good. I was like super terrible. And then I think I actually hopped around on GB for a while with some of my good friends from school. But yeah, from then when trick shotting blew up like about a year and a half ago now. I think it's been like a while, which is really surprising. But when FaZe put out their promo and Optic announced them and all that, that's when I started trick shotting. I was like, that was super crazy. And I was actually on Agony's channel, Obey, FaZe, Agony, whatever. Because I used to like his old edits, but now he's just kind of eh. But I was looking back to when he was good, and I saw a trick shotting promo, and they were hitting ground, they were doing all this other stuff. And I was like, I remember how good that was back then. And now that's like considered worse than a 360. And so I got big into trick shotting, and I did that for a long time. From about when trick shotting first blew up, which was when I started, I basically just did that for like every day. Well, as long as, like, if I could, I'd do it every day. And so I did that for a long time. Ended up getting my capture card that I have now, my AverMedia. And then from trick shotting, like 4 months ago, I got into a bunch of clans. I jumped around a lot, but my first real taste at, I guess you could say, YouTube fame, clan fame, whatever. I don't really consider it fame or even known really, but I joined Teach, and they were probably one of the worst teams I've been on, like, just organization-wise. So I was on Teach, and then I went to, like, I don't even remember. I can't even count how many teams I've been on from trick shotting. But from trick shotting, I learned a lot of stuff. And I just kind of, when I got into VP, I left, like, the week or two after I joined, just because I didn't really like how... excuse me, how some of the leaders, co-leaders, players were taking this stuff. I just didn't really just like the overall feel of the clan. And then I left, and then I quit trick shotting, and I quit editing for a little bit. If you guys have followed me on this channel for a while, I quit editing for about 2-3 months, and I recently gotten back into it, as you can see. I've been editing now again for about a month, I'd like to say, and from like when I started to now, re-editing, I've just blown up with like how many big teams I've been in. I'm just like amazed, because I started out and I was like, okay, what team am I gonna join? I need to join a team because there's no point in editing for myself. Voice crack, sorry, because I can't hit clips for shit, like, at all. So I was like, who am I going to edit for, And I just did a bunch of, like, mini edits with other people's clips from, like, FaZe that they posted for me to download. Like, Spratty's really generous. He posts all his clips for us to download from his montages and stuff. So I was just doing that. And then I got into, I sent a message, and I actually ended up getting into Exalt, which... I tried to get into Exalt like 5 months ago. That was like my dream teams, like forever ago, and they still, well, they're not anymore. I mean, I've been in Exalt. I know what it's like. It's good. I like the guys. It just wasn't the place for me. So then I went from Exalt. I was in there for about a week and a half, and then I went to Skies, which was like, I don't know. I can't really trash talk Skies because they're good. They just don't get the recognition or respect they deserve in the editing and YouTube community, because their comp team is really, like, they get all the recognition, all the views, everything. And their YouTube team is actually really good. I like Skies. It just wasn't the place for me either. So then I went back to Exalt for a day, and I was like, I don't know why I rejoined. It's the same shit that I left for. So then I started looking around, and I remembered Mass, or IIVII, was really... I remember them really well from a while ago, being good and getting, like, on big channels and, like, Devastation Cinema, Flatline Editing, that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll try to join Mass. I've been in Exalt. I think I have the skill set to get into Mass. So I asked Wilson or JW. I was like, hey, can I join? And then I said, can you give me about a day or two to think about it? And he said, I usually don't do this, but I want you on my team. Yeah, like, that's what happened. And then I actually only thought, because if you've talked to me, like actually talked to me, you'll know that I'm horrible with time. Like 3 hours could feel like 3 days to me. I have like, I've said this a bunch, but it keeps popping back. I have ADHD and a horrible sense of time, which don't really mix together well. So I always think like, oh, it's been forever, and it's been like 2 hours. So I thought about it for a couple hours, and I was just like, yep, I'm doing it. And then I told him, I was like, hey, Wilson, I'm joining. And then here we are. I done a couple edits for Mass. I'm gonna stay in as long as I can without them kicking me. The only team I really want to leave Mass for is almost pretty much out of my reach. So I'm not gonna say what that is, because it's probably not gonna happen for months. But and then I joined Cure. I don't know if you guys know what Cure is, because I haven't announced that I'm officially in Cure. Cure is, they snipe, and they have a partnership, and all their partnership funds go to I don't know exactly, but they give all their proceeds from the partnership program to charity. And they had really good players, and it was for a really good cause, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna edit for these guys. So I asked them, and they said, yeah, you're in. And I'm gonna be doing some edits. I'm gonna be doing Cure Collisions in the next few days, which is just like clan battle thing in between members in the team. But yeah, I'm in 2 clans right now. Really, just great guys. They're really nice, and we laugh a lot. We have fun, stuff like that. But I mean, that's pretty much my entire journey from beginning to now, which I thought it was going to take a lot longer to explain, but it really didn't. I've had a lot of fun on my journey to YouTube, and hopefully I can keep doing it, and it's been really fun doing it. It's one of my passions, YouTubing, and it's pretty noteworthy to say, because YouTube doesn't really take up much of my life, but it's one thing that I really love doing, and I don't really want to stop, whether it be if I quit editing now or never. It's one of the things I want to do for YouTube, is one of the things I want to do for a long time. And editing is really just one of my good passions. I really just love editing. It calms me down if I'm mad, you know. Helps me sort things out. It's just generally fun. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do. And I'll keep doing YouTube until they delete my account, is pretty much what I'm saying. And actually, I forgot, I left one thing out. We started an arts team yesterday, me and my friend Cody. And I don't know how to fucking work the new sub box. It doesn't let me post anything in my sub box, but it's in my my link. I don't know what you call it. It's underneath the About Me section is our new team link, and I'm gonna get that team pretty big. I'd like all you guys to go sub. I know, subliminal messaging inside of a story, but yeah, that's pretty much my journey from then to now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been a long commentary. If you've watched all of it, thank you. You're a true sub, and goodbye, guys.
At least for a moment, the sane world reasserted itself. Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. A feeling caught his attention. Stucky looked up and stared as his brain tried in vain to process the horror before him. He stumbled back, knocking over a can of oil. A black pool spread across the floor while he struggled for a brief moment, then let go as the garage was a mess. It looked like someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
All right. I'll keep writing.
Outside, there's only darkness. Outside the cabin. Outside the store, there's only darkness. I could smell a perfume in the room.
Great Falls Sheriff Station.
Reach her.
Oh, thank God, Sheriff.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker. You are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen, I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head. Are you okay?
Listen.
We'll figure this out. Please get in the car. We'll swing by the lake and then we'll go to the station, okay? Mr. Wake, have you seen Stucky, the guy who owns this place?
I realized I couldn't tell her what had happened in the forest. She wouldn't have believed me. And then she wouldn't have helped me with Alice.
A candy-colored clown they call the Sandman tiptoes to my room every night, and just to sprinkle stardust and to whisper, go to sleep, everything